Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we'll be going through all the best dueling star cards, the villains in Battlefront 2. The way I'm going to do this is I'll list a couple of the essential cards that you should definitely run when dueling with those heroes, and then I'll give you some other options. There are also multiple viable loadouts for some of the heroes, so I'll be going through them as well. For Count Dooku, I believe that you have a bit of choice when choosing cards for Dooku. I would choose between Sith Control, Finesse, Last Seconds, Masterful Duelist, and Initiative. The way I like to look at it is you should choose between two of these three cards: Initiative, Masterful Duelist, and Last Seconds, and then for the last spot, choose between Sith Control and Finesse. Sith Control is banned in competitive matches and tournaments because of how overpowered it is, but it's completely fine to run in casuals or just pubs. So I like to run Finesse, Masterful Duelist, and Initiative because these two cards combine to make double parries and double hook swings deal insane amounts of damage, and this card is just really nice. It makes Count Dooku be able to swing over 22 times before he runs out of stamina, and also just makes parries a much more safer thing to do because you don't have to worry about his stamina. Next up we have General Grievous, and he has even more choice than Dooku. The only card I would say that's essential for dueling is Cowardly Retreat, because an experienced enemy that knows how to air parry can easily get lots of damage in while you're using Claw Rush by parrying it. Something you might not know about Flesh's Weak and Beating Heart is that the punishment for Flesh's Weak is usually that his health regeneration speed is halved. However, if you're also running Beating Heart, then that punishment is negated and the regeneration speed is normal, making this star card setup very powerful. Of course, Flesh's Weak is also banned like Sith Control in competitive matches and tournaments, but this star card loadout is very powerful to run in duels and casuals. Now, when I'm not running Flesh's Weak, I also take off Beating Heart, and then I put on Lineup Weaklings and Sith Trained. This star card loadout is incredibly damaging, and I think it's more powerful than his Beating Heart and Flesh's Weak star card loadout if you know how to manage your stamina and health. So Lineup Weaklings is actually bugged, and the first enemy you hit with Claw Rush will take the increased 50 damage, so it's similar to Obi-Wan's forward star card. It basically just makes Claw Rush deal an extra 50 damage, which can also make an extra 100 damage if you get both hits with Claw Rush. That combined with Sith Trained, which makes Grievous deal an extra whopping 30 damage, just makes a very powerful hero that can also trade a lot of damage with Cowardly Retreat when in Claw Rush, as long as they get one hit with Lineup Weaklings. So yeah, I like to run Lineup Weaklings, Cowardly Retreat, and Sith Trained for a very damaging but also safe star card loadout, but another powerful one is Flesh's Weak, Cowardly Retreat, and Beating Heart. With Darth Maul, and I'm pretty sure most people know this by now, but the Lightsaber Defense star card is a must. It does not do what the description says it does, and instead of granting an extra 16% damage reduction to blasters, while in the spin attack, if you're running Lightsaber Defense, you get 60% damage reduction to everything. This is really useful because then if someone parries your spin attack, you take 60% less damage, or if you want to use spin attack when coming out of a knockdown ability, you can do that, and then the second hit that you would have taken only deals 40% of its damage. Flow Motion is the next card that I would say is very good for Darth Maul because it does not say what the description says it does, and it just gives Darth Maul an extra spin attack. So yeah, this card is really good for Maul's movement and just generally makes him a much more powerful character because of how he can escape damage from his enemy and just keep pressure with the extra spin attack. And for the last card, Accelerated Throw is the best option because the extra 20 damage is very simple, but it adds on to combos quite nicely and the chip damage is very nice. You can switch out one of these two cards if you like for Fool Me Once, but I wouldn't recommend it since I think these two cards are much more powerful. So yeah, my star card loadout for Darth Maul is Accelerated Throw, Flow Motion, and the bugged Lightsaber Defense star card. So for Kylo Ren, Bloodlust is a must. It's similar to Accelerated Throw, and it just gives you an extra 20 damage, which can be an extra 60 damage, or even 80 damage if you use Forfeit Frenzy. But other than that, Kylo Ren has a lot of options. I'd say that Power of Darkness is his next best choice, because the extra 14 damage for 6 seconds after Frenzy is very powerful if you get a freeze, because then back hits will deal about 180 damage, and you can get 360 damage off one combo just by getting 2 hits if you're running this card. But for the last card, I would choose between Berserking Tantrum, Harsh Pull, and Closing It. I've played a lot of hours with a lot of these cards, and I think, in my opinion, that Harsh Pull is the best card to choose out of these ones. Berserking Tantrum is very nice. The extra 20% stamina is really good because it makes it easier for parries and lunging and all sorts of things with Kylo. It just comes in handy. And while this card is nice, I don't think it's essential, and you're better using the slot for Harsh Fall, because the extra 50 damage adds on to combos. If you get a pull, a freeze, and then either 2 hits of Frenzy, or 2 back hits, this card will make it so that you deal an extra 50 permanent damage, which is really good. I think that fact outplays Closing In and Berserking Tantrum, so for Kylo Ren, I would run Bloodlust, Harsh Fall, and Power of Darkness. And for Darth Vader, this is a pretty controversial topic, but I don't run any star cards when dueling with Darth Vader. As you can see, I have no star cards equipped. This is because Darth Vader, with star cards, is just a bit too overpowered, and while it can be countered by heroes such as Obi-Wan and Yoda, I don't think it's fair having to put cards on already the most powerful hero in Battlefront 2. So yeah, for dueling, I don't put any cards on, or I'll run these 3 cards, which are pretty useless for dueling, but that way I'm still running cards. Now, if you do want to run cards, the best star cards to run are Bonus Health, Furious Resilience, and Punishing Grip. It's pretty simple: extra health for damage reduction and extra damage, or extra time and choke, which is just extra damage. So yeah, this is the most powerful star card loadout, I'd say. This is the best loadout if you just want to hide behind a block, because it just gives him the extra tankiness for more damage, for more time. But yeah, this is definitely the best star card loadout for dueling with Vader. This is the star card loadout I'd run, or I just don't run any star cards at all when dueling. And those are the best star cards for all the villains in Battlefront 2. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you out on the Battlefront.